Welcome to the show. Paulie's going to intro us on today's topic.
Jungle Brothers podcast, Joey and Paul here. We are going to be talking about the JB's origin story.
Yeah.
Throw your hands in the air.
All right.
Smooth, Joey.
So where do we go back to this origin piece?
How far back do you want to go? Well, basically we're doing this episode because we've realized in the gym, we've got a lot of new people in the gym. There's like a lot of new people, and it's not until you get some OGs who come up to you and go, fuck, I don't recognize anyone in this class, that you realize, fuck, there is a lot of new people in here.
Fuck, these cunts don't know what's going on.
They don't know what's going on. And, I spoke about it at the Christmas party. I wanted to let people know in the speech about how we came to today. I doubt that...
You did a pretty good job of that, by the way.
Did I?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you did, yeah. There's a lot to cover.
Yeah, and there's a lot to cover. And I guess it was just a feeling that arose from realizing that the story, our story, actually was central to the members and the story of our gym kind of on a day-to-day, month-to-month basis.
Yep.
Because we made it so. Yep. And, we made everyone come along in the ride for us, whether they liked it or not. They knew that we were struggling. They knew that we were moving and we were trying to fight this battle. And the battles never stopped. I just felt like I haven't been telling it as much. So it was like, hey, all you newbies, we're here today, but we're standing on the shoulders of all the things that happened before. So fucking this is how we came to be here. It's no accident. And it was some hard work.
Yes.
So it was just that, man. So this episode, I wanted to kind of wrap that up, just chat with you, and just take a bit of a walk down memory lane. Plot some of the milestones that happened over the years to what led to today.
Let's go there.
Yeah.
So where do we kick off? Park thing.
Film industry.
Yeah. 3 struggling film dropout. No, 3 elite film lighting specialists.
Oh.
Top of the game. We were doing the best shit. I mean, you were. I was just in there for the parties.
No. No, but yeah, it's not like we weren't making a living there.
Yeah.
A lot of people go, why'd you leave? Like, it was shit. I was like, no, it was a great job. I was employed all the time. It was just a lifestyle change and wanting to do something else that was somewhat, more job satisfaction, I guess, and build something. And, there was a cause here that was brought to my attention by yourself and T at a point. And we had a meeting at was it FO 237 or something like that on King Street?
Oh, that one. Yeah.
And you guys sat me down and had a proposition for me.
Did we?
Yeah, it was like a Wednesday night.
Holy shit, wow.
And I remember I had just had Fehoko. He might have been 6 months old or something like that.
Yeah.
And you guys proposed that, I come in and join the gym business with you. And kind of started for me from there.
Wow.
Prior to that, T had already propositioned you.
Yeah.
You guys were training jits. You were training, whether it was CrossFit or kettlebells at that time.
All of it.
And you and T would often train with each other. I had recently started training a bit with T. He came on and was working on The Great Gatsby with us as an additional. We made a gym. Well, we already had a gym, that we'd in the container. We'd hollow out a container and make a morning, a gym session at fucking 5:45.
Yeah.
And I started being in T's influential sphere bubble there. And after maybe 6 months or more of that, that's when he kind of recruited me into this idea. What do you remember of that beginning?
Yeah, so he had this idea, this big plan to build a gym that he'd put together when he was living in London, which was...
That's right.
At some time he went overseas with D, I guess, and they lived in London. He was working as a PT, and this is where he formulated this plan.
Yeah, he left the film industry, went there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then he came back and jumped back into the film industry and connected with us and was like, hey, I got this gym I want to do. I want you to come on board. I want you to do it too.
Yep.
It didn't take much convincing because the film industry was it was great in many ways, but it wasn't going anywhere.
Yep.
Was it like you looked at all the people who were ahead of you in the game and you didn't, there wasn't maybe your boy Matty Hoyle.
Oh, yeah.
Who seems like a well-balanced person.
Yep.
Everyone else a mess.
Yep.
Like, respectfully. It's a hard place to have balance in your life.
Absolutely.
It's just all about the work. And so I remember being like, yeah, I'm fucking pretty over this. And yeah, that sounds great. Like exciting adventure, the call to adventure. So we decided to do the thing. So I remember for me, I started training people and it all coincided with me getting really into training, people asking me if I would coach them, had a couple of clients here and there. So it was kind of just like a formalized thing of that where it's like, oh, okay, well now I'll go become a personal trainer and I'm going to start coaching people. So did the two jobs parallel for a little while, coaching and film industry, and then eventually just ditched film. And
yeah.
Long
story short, eventually that happened to me as well, but some years later. So we opened up, bro. Joe did the fucking groundwork for years in that park. Did you not?
Fuck that park.
Fucking hell.
I wish I just knew something about business when I was doing that.
Oh, wow. Whereas you were very savvy in my eyes. You're like, fuck, Joe's doing it. But it was some years where we'd opened. So we started the brand. We had a couple of other guys involved as well.
Yep.
Betsy
and Laff.
And we were trying to figure out exactly. Well, we knew we wanted to open a facility, and we were to build a brand and kind of experiment and build a product in the parks with groups with no overheads and commitment to a rental space, and from there transition into a space.
And T would feed people from Fitness First into the park sessions.
That's right.
That was his big plan. Never really worked. We had about 4 people that came down. He's like, I'm gonna get these leads from Fitness First, and I'm gonna divert them to the park sessions.
That's right.
Yeah, he's just like, it'll be a conveyor belt. Like it wasn't that. People want to train in this nice air-conditioned gym.
That's right.
And then it's like, no, come down to the park where it's like hot and grubby and there's fucking needles everywhere.
All
and
wet.
Yeah, it's raining and shit.
So you're in Surrey Hills. I mean, the park timetable also spread its wings to Erskineville.
Yeah.
To where else? Well, no, because we had Adrian was running up in...
He did some shit in...
Lambert Park?
Double Bay. He just doing some shit.
So it was like a combined timetable. It was like a bunch of trainers in and around Sydney, pay one membership, go to any park sort of thing. It was pretty patchy, but we were trying to pull it all together.
Yep.
We knew, though, we should mention what the mission was. And while we were trying to work out the class formats and what was included, there was that dissatisfaction with the industry. And if you may... Can you speak on kind of that origin and what it was all born out of?
Yeah, the agreement was that we hated fitness industry. Thought it was shit. Thought the way they approach education, the way they approach the actual training itself, the fucking look of what PT, like just the whole thing was a mess. We're not about that.
And this is 2012?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
I guess
then,
so.
Yeah.
We wanted to create something that was real. And it was real in the terms of like, we had all had amazing experiences through combat, like through fight gyms and weightlifting gyms and gritty CrossFit gyms. And we're like, that's what we want to, we want to take that realness and bring that to fitness, but actually help people, to progress.
Because what was the scene like at the time, Joe?
Well, I would argue it's not really much different to what it is now in, say, any kind of global, like big commercial gym, Fitness First, Anytime Fitness, etc. And some of those gyms are a bit better stocked now. They got some more kind of better, they got barbells, platforms, etc. And I would say, I would think that the general population now has more of an idea about what's good training. But really, still, it's like what's happening in those gyms on the whole is a fucking shambles. Bunch of people who got no idea what they're doing, bunch of low quality personal trainers who don't know what they're doing. Some of them have very successful businesses, but they're usually just pumping people with basic bodybuilding stuff. They're building bodies that are like out of balance, machine based stuff. Like, and you got all these different factions and like, you know, the functional people and the bodybuilders, and it's like, the fuck's going on here? And you know, like it's all quite odd. People are all wearing earphones. They're not talking to each other. They're all staring in the mirror. Like the environment of where general fitness takes place is strange to us.
And as you know, T would always be banging on about it. The way that it had gone was so contradictory because it's the health industry, and the way that it was structured, it looked like what we expect the health industry to look like on the surface, but was actually misaligned with many other aspects of health. So it's not all just muscles. So there was that, as you said, like the factions and the earphones. Well, health is also mental health, and we know way more about it now. Well, it's definitely in everyone's scope. But it's just that interaction with people and all that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah, that lack of connection to the people around you.
And also the motivations and the incentives towards why they're doing the movement.
That's right. A lot of people are in there in a kind of self-loathing kind of way. Aren't they? Like a form of punishment for sins committed, you know, on the weekend or whatever. And also too, like that classic exercise thing, it's not an empowering journey for most people. It's not like I'm in here on this journey of strength and personal growth, and I'm learning and I'm progressing, and you know the program that I'm following helps to facilitate this journey. Nah, it's just like I'm going to get my workout because I'm a sloppy piece of shit. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying these people are, but I'm just saying that that's sort of like the kind of the attitude in a way. And I know a lot of people think that way, you know, like, oh, I overindulged on the weekend, got to go fucking pay my penance. So, yeah, so, you know, the other side too is that I think from fighting, we've always felt that there's a realness that comes from that whole thing about like this, you're sparring with someone now or you're rolling with someone, like this is a fucking high pressure moment and this is real stress and I've got to learn to control this. And through that practice and learning how to defend yourself and attack and coordinate,
learning how to socialize with your training partner, which you have to rely upon to get your training done.
Yeah, that like
those dynamics.
There's so much in all of that, so much human stuff in all of that that you don't just get by sitting on the fucking pec deck or the leg press machine.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, you know, like without going deeper into like more of those veins, I think that kind of hits the mark of, all right, well, we're trying to create a place where this happens.
Yes.
You know? And what we had in mind then is very different to what we have now. At that point, we thought it was going to be a gym like a Fitness First, where you come pay membership and you come in and there's all these amazing different zones and shit going on.
We had some harebrained kind of proposals.
We did. And then Laf shot that down. Laf knows stuff about money and he was like, hey, this doesn't work. Like, you guys don't, like, you're not going to make money doing that. Unless you've got a couple mil to spend on it.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not going to work. And we're like, all right, let's rethink it. But that was the mission.
Yes, great. So what happens next in this timeline?
Well, next is like it's trickling along.
Yeah.
But we get this moment where my osteopath, Tim, says, hey, bro.
Yes.
There's a struggling CrossFit gym owned by a couple of people I used to train jiu-jitsu with, and it's down in Botany, and they've fallen out with
each other,
and they want to sell it. They want to offload it. And he said, why don't the Jungle Brothers do it? Like, why don't you guys do it? And I'll come in, you know. I brought the deal in. Like, I'll come in. We'll go in together. But it would be called Jungle Brothers and, you know. And I was like, seems like a cool opportunity. How could we fail?
Let's go down and check out this little warehouse.
Yeah.
At that stage, we had looked at lots of different spaces and properties. And we were from that first kind of meeting and, you know, pulling the Avengers together. 3 years has passed. 2 years.
Yeah, it's like a couple of years.
So yeah, we go down, and
gym looks good. Yeah, it's got equipment in it.
XFit.
It's small. Yeah, it's called XFit Nation.
XFit Nation.
They weren't a real CrossFit affiliate. They were just operating kind of illegally. Because you know, context, to be affiliated with CrossFit, you need to like pay, and these guys weren't paying, so they were just like calling themselves CrossFit, but not actually approved. We took it over. It was like, hey, this gym's got 30 members. And we're like, 30 members? And we like did some calculations. And we're like, fuck, that's enough to like pay the rent and shit. And like, we'll just run this for like 6 months, build it up till it's making money.
Yep.
And then we can go focus on the big dream, which is in Surrey Hills.
That's right.
And this gym will just keep pumping along.
And that's why we called it the Outpost. Because we were like, let's not lose our connection. Because we had built the business around those certain parks we mentioned because we were profiling the areas that we wanted to have the gym.
Yeah. Well, like Surrey Hills, that's where progressive types are going to be like, what's this new thing?
Yes.
You know?
And that's kind of significant because Tim and bringing us here, that's how we ended up in fucking South Sydney in Botany. And that's like 10 years now. And come to love this place and know it so well, but not be from here or live here.
Yeah.
So that's how we came to Botany. That place was a classic kind of place. It was it was a mechanics, I think, before it was a gym.
It was a bikie clubhouse.
That's what it was.
But yeah, before that it was a mechanics workshop.
Yes, yeah.
Fucking cool space, huh?
So good. 2 big roller doors opposite each other.
Yeah. Basically turned into like a giant outdoor hall with a roof over the top, kind of. When you open those roller doors up,
yes,
it's just a wind tunnel through. It was beautiful. Like
the light was really great.
Yeah,
kind of from 2 ends and classic. You know, OGs know we talk about it all the time. How awesome it was. Small, and it was rough around the edges.
Yeah,
but we went in and made it. You know, made it ours. It was like made it beautiful.
Yeah,
you know, threw out heaps of shit straight away that they had in there, right? We're like, fuck it, we need floor space, we need to maximize this thing. I mean, remember when we filled in the sump and leveled the floor with concrete?
Oh, bro.
So we had like a very small square meterage of floor space and fucking like a third of it was unusable for many things because it wasn't flat. There was actually an Olympic lifting platform on top of this sump.
Yeah.
And once we took that away, it was just a sunken floor down into a drain.
The ground just gradually sloped to this corner.
Yeah. So we were like, let's get some advice and fucking level this floor out and, you know, add 100% more floor room into the fucking gym. And that was a mission.
Well, it's a classic T move because he's like, oh, I'll contact my brother-in-law. He's a concreter. He'll know what to do.
Yep.
And then he came and had a look and then this is all from T. T's like, so we had a look and he said it's going to be easy. All we got to do is just cut the concrete here, jackhammer that out, and then he'll pour concrete in. We're like, fuck, okay, is that easy? He's like, yeah, he's going to lend us all the equipment. He showed me how to do it. We're like, fuck, all right. So he's like, we'll do the cutting and shit on Saturday, and then they'll come pour on Sunday, and we'll be good for Monday. All right, sounds fair. And then T literally flew to Queensland that weekend because he had a workshop, him and D, and he's like, hey, I can't actually get in there to do the work with you guys, but the concrete saw's there and the jackhammers. All you guys need to do, and I've posted a video on WhatsApp, you just cut the concrete and then jackhammer it. Fuck. And then they'll come and pour it. And it was like you, me, and Betsy. And I remember with this huge concrete saw, he's like, oh, you got to make sure you've got a hose and running water pouring onto the blade of the concrete at all times. Otherwise it could kick and like chop your feet off. And you're like, oh my God, bro. And I'm like, a fucking concrete saw? It's like this big diesel powered thing.
God, it was disgusting.
Yeah, it was hideous. We did it.
We did it, but without T.
Without T.
Fucking hell, that's right. Was that the Viper course that they went up for?
Yeah.
Oh, no. If he was here, I'd punch him.
Yeah.
Just in the memory of
He's probably there's a methodology there. It just needs to be fleshed out.
So we did it, and I remember making fucking funny videos on that weekend, and we had no shoes on. You know,
concrete
no shirts
saws,
on.
jackhammers, no shoes.
You know, and then the fucking big boys came in and poured the concrete on the Sunday. Those big island boys started swinging on the rings.
Yep.
That was funny.
Paid him a couple of cases of beer.
But we renovated that gym and we fucking turned that into a temple of gains.
We did. I mean, it's actually, that was just one of many projects where we kind of just undertook it ourselves with the help of a friend or family member who could help.
Lots of friends. Dee's dad came in and built some metal work and bars in little places that just kind of increased the usability of the space. And we fucked with design a lot there.
We did the mezzanine upstairs. We did the flooring and the mirrors and shit in there.
And the fucking Kino lights upstairs.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
There was so much going on. And it was really cool because it was a chance, I guess, for us just to, yeah, like you said, like experiment and I don't know, man. Like fuck, we did a lot in there. The downside with this whole like the shit thing that was happening through all this was that we weren't very good at business.
Yes.
And we were running a struggling business. Now it was doing okay, but it was hurting.
Yeah.
And it took us quite some time to figure that out.
How long was it where we had less than 50 members before we got a business coach?
I don't know. I mean, it feels like it was ages.
Even if it was...
It probably felt like ages to me because I had like 2 years in the park where it was pretty fruitless financially.
Yes.
But I maybe in the gym it was 12 months.
It's a long fucking time.
Long time. Because you're literally pulling money out of your own bank account to pay rent and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And breaking even was just... That was the goal.
I mean, we just didn't know any of this stuff, right? We didn't even invest like startup capital. We were just like, hey, I paid last month. You got to pay this month. No, I paid it. T pays this. Oh, okay, and
that's
then
right.
That was how we covered rent. It was like, oh, okay, Paul's paid twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had that. At that time, it was, I would say, you were enjoying your training in the gym, but it was very much like, oh, cool, someone's come to check out the gym.
Yeah.
And can you just imagine the process back then versus like now?
Oh, yeah.
It was very cash.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to join? Cool. Yeah, come tonight and start.
Yeah. Or just when you get home, jump on the website and you can just sign up there.
Exactly. Pay as you go.
Yeah. I did that in the park all the time.
Oh.
Thank God we met Drew, the business coach. And, the other thing too is that because we were so busy just focusing on all the other shit, the training, the experimentation.
The class formats were changing all the time.
Yeah, because we were focusing on that and not the business, that's actually kind of what enabled us to build the brand that we have.
It's true.
So there was an upside to that lack of attention on these business fundamentals.
Yeah, we didn't let that hold us back from building anything that we really, wanted to aligned with our mission. So we were like, what classes work the best? And it was all about fucking what was cool. You know what I mean? What was cool to us? What are the right materials to use in this gym? Let's run the coolest Christmas parties, run a cool workshop, bring people in. It was all at a loss. Financially, everything was all at a loss.
Yeah.
But it was also, and what you're saying is, it was quite cool because we didn't let the finances tie us down. At that time, it was really, we were in the lab.
Fuck me, man. We should have gone bust many times.
Fucking hell.
So, I mean, kind of fast forward then to what came after that. Well, I guess what came after that was that we got the coaching, dialed up our business weaknesses, and that gym turned into a fucking machine. We still didn't have any view of our finances or whatever, but we had a system around sales. We had a system around making sure members were having a good time. Like our prices were appropriate.
Yes.
We tightened up all of that operational stuff and people were crawling up the walls. And then it was like, we need a bigger gym.
Yes. Yeah. So we went from 50 members or less and then we had 110 at some point in there. We had been given the name the Messina of gyms.
Yeah.
And we were killing it. And then, we needed a new space. So we started looking around at that stage. We were really looking. I mean, it was always about from the very beginning, and you spoke about, what the mission was. It was to make an impact on the industry. So we always knew that we wanted to grow.
Carve your own path. That
Absolutely.
was Merry Christmas, Pedro. Lovely to see you, bro.
Hey, bro. Merry Christmas.
Pedro from Jungle 5 Doc coming through the office right now. See you soon, bro.
See you.
Valeu. Yeah, valeu, cara. The other thing that we should mention is from the beginning, we wanted to create something that we would share with others.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know what it looked like, but we're like, franchise, affiliation thing, don't know. But this thing that we're building will go outside of our four walls.
Absolutely.
In the near future.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's very cool to reflect on because we said that and we've done that. That's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And it was just that was kind of like a big dream for us to have at that point. When you look at all the shit we were doing poorly, it was almost an absurd dream because it's like, well, you guys are shit at all this stuff. You should just focus on that first.
Yeah.
To try to survive to get to that point where you can share it. But we're like, no, this is going to work.
Yep.
Yeah. Came to the bigger gym. I don't know, like, in a sense, rest is history in a way.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Yeah.
But you know, we had those years, those golden years of you, me, and T here running the thing every day, training, coaching, just being in the place. Mm-hmm. That at the time was just like, that was just what work was. Work was just, we're all here all the time. Mm-hmm. We're pretty much all here on Saturdays. If there's something that needs to be done, like a new chalkboard has to go up or lights are fixed, then we're coming in. We'll stay till late on Saturday and we'll come in Sunday. Absolutely. Like, it was sort of that sort of thing. You guys were wrangling families at the time, kids and shit. I was fortunate enough not to have kids at that stage because I'm like, fuck, that would have been tough on you guys.
Bless the partners. Bless the partners.
Yeah, of course. The enablers. But then at a point, it changed, right?
Yep.
T's gone. I'm kind of gone from the operation. Like, you know, but yeah, that period of us just all being on the ship together every day was kind of, that went on for a good while.
Yeah, like sitting here reflecting on it, fuck, there were so many lessons over time. And so many lessons that you relearn, you know, as well, that you think about, like, just in the business and going back to, like, the original mission and, you know, are we still aligned with that with some of the things we're doing today? And I think we're doing a really good job of things at the moment. You know, there's that time where we realized that community was a huge part of it, and it seems obvious now, and maybe I'm just biased on how I see markets and businesses these days. But you know, community's fucking huge. And then leaning into that part of our gym and realizing, because a lot of the stuff we had to get pointed out to us because we were just doing it at that time. It wasn't like someone handed us a business portfolio and said, hey, this is what you do. You build a community, you do it with events, and then you do the program and you retain them by doing these processes. Like, we figured that out organically. Would you agree?
Yeah.
And then, you know, figuring that out, and then, you know, fast forward to now, the mission was to share it. So how do we share it? We had to get better at the business part, and we've had to get better at the processes part. So scaling, if you want to call it that, or sharing it with other people, meant that we've had to kind of further define and refine what we're doing and fucking make that cool, intangible thing into words on a piece of paper. And then, you know, how do you deliver it to people? And that's kind of like the space that we live in the JA now, which is, sharing it and building this thing. And, you know, the last podcast that we just did was about going up to Jungle Cabarita and, like, how rewarding that's been. But I guess, you know, well, there's the story for you. It didn't happen by accident. It's happened very slowly over time. We could have learned maybe potentially quicker in some areas, but we've gotten there of it now, and I feel really grateful reflecting on it now, and then thinking about, like, meeting people at Jungle Cabarita who are just like us, who are thanking us for what we've built, you know, and it's just a really nice full circle. There's heaps of work to do yet, and I'm actually really excited for the years to come. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. Yeah, there's an increasing amount of work to do, right? Because the light is now being shone on certain things. We're like, oh, goddamn, I don't know. How do we
Let's go back.
How do we do that, Paulie?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
but what a fucking cool mission, right? Like,
Yeah.
still got that same mission. Still hate the fitness industry.
Yeah.
Still think the PTs at Fitness First are Poindexters. Still want to fucking grab people and shake them and go, hey, that you can actually enjoy this shit and like transform yourself and transform your life. Come train with us. And, you know, the gyms, the few gyms within our alliance are having that effect.
Yep.
And so it's like, all right, Matt, how do we fucking roll this out further?
It's cool to do this podcast because we don't sit around reflecting that much or thinking about it because we're doing it. So it's actually really cool to sit here and do it today.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Absolutely. No, thanks for bringing it forward. Yeah, we don't have time for these conversations between us.
Yeah, and T's, you know, video calls during the week, usually about business and stuff like that. It's a rare occasion.
It is.
But we should do it. Oh, well, you know, annually at least.
Fuck yeah, I'm down.
Bang.
Thanks, man.
You got that outro music for me?
What, this one?